Hi, it's Jane. Get this straight a little bit. You're going to see the back closet. You'll deal with it, right? It's just a closet. It's just the bathroom door. That kind of thing. All right. I have whips still. I don't have anything finished. This week has been really busy. Had the craft fair with Christian women. Also had quite a few other obligations to do, but I'm continuing to work on the Tarnation scarf, and it's getting pretty good size. I figure I'm going to use most, if not all of this skein of yarn for it, but hadn't really done anything. Did nothing on the knitting whatsoever. The only thing that I have done is on the crocheted ripple afghan, the ripple romance, and I've done that because you guys are willing to sit and listen to me chit-chat. So that is basically all that I have gotten done this way. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. But for the craft fair, I told you about the Bible purses that I'd made. So this is the last one that I had left of it, and I'm planning on making some more with it. It's got the elastic loop that's can be used for a bookmark. Place pencils in this. It's got a little pocket in the front for whatever. And then the zippered part can be used for anything. It can be used to put more pens, pencils, whatever, that kind of thing. This would also make a great item to put in for a Operation Christmas Child, and we'll talk about that next. And then I had made these small little keychain coin purses, and the only thing about them is that the first couple of times the snap's a little tight, but they open up to 3 small areas where you can put cash, change, cards, that kind of thing. Some of the ladies like these for putting gift cards in for Christmas, and this is the last one of the crayons that I had, so I've got a couple more small pieces of fabric that I can turn into a couple more of these. And these also would make great little gifts to slip into a Operation Christmas Child basket, or box, because that's what we're looking at. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about packing those boxes, and then I'll give you a couple of ideas for some items to pack in. One of the things when these children, I told you about the book that they get. It's a small booklet, and it tells them about the gospel of Jesus Christ and that He loves them. There is God that loves them. Not only are you telling this, because many times the parents are there too, so they're hearing this story as well. So sometimes you're getting that message not only to children, but to other children and their parents. But then they are invited back to come back for a 12-week program, and it is called Go Therefore and Make Disciples. And so they go through and they teach them a little bit more about the Bible, more about the creation, those kind of things. They have a little graduation party when they get through with that. And the theory is that what happens is when you give a box to a child, you spread that gospel not only to that child, but to their parents, their family, their friends. And so it grows, it multiplies. So that is one of the things, that works. They call it evangelism, discipleship, and multiplication. This is what Samaritan's Purse uses. Evangelism starts with the box and the book to give them the story of Jesus Christ and the gospel. Discipleship begins when they start that 12-week program on learning about the Bible, more about God, those kind of things. And then, of course, by that time, then you get into the multiplication because they're telling their family, their friends, and bringing them to Christ as well. So, and these boxes, you know, they go all over the place. They currently go to 170 countries right now. And a child only gets one box in a lifetime. But that one box, many times, battery died, many times is a catalyst for these children to become even entrepreneurs in their own right. Many times their children have been given paint sets. You can't put liquids in, but you can put the watercolor paints, that is, you know, the dry palette. You can put those in there. Drawing books, pencils for drawing, those kind of things. And it produces something in them that they want to give back to others, and they want to fulfill their dreams as they get older. Many of these countries are very poor countries. You know, it's kind of like the program that Susan Sarandon follows with, can't think of the name of it now, where you give them a gift of a cow or a goat, you know, some kind of animal, and it produces a lifelong money maker for them so that they can sustain, feed their families and feed those around them. So that is, you know, these things are catalysts to help them grow many times. And some of these children are, well, and that battery didn't last long. Many of these children have never had any toys of any kind. So it opens up a whole world of imagination for them. You can print out coloring sheets for them to color, packs of colors, 24 colors, pencils, colored pencils, those kind of things. And it's always just a positive thing for you. And that is, you know, that's important for us to take care of our neighbors anyway and around the world. This is a way to help spread that. Now, some gift ideas, you know, some simple things to consider are simply a hygiene kit like this. You can, and I take these out of the packages. I haven't gotten to that point yet. And I generally drop them down into a water bottle, a clear water bottle that I'm including, along with pencils, erasers, a small ruler, those kind of things. But this big thing here, this big toenail clipper, is great to slip down into a cleaned out pill bottle that has items like for a fishing kit. You know, like taking the fishing string, wrapping it up around a small piece of cardboard, quite a bit of it, including a couple of hooks, a bobber, and then just a little general information sheet about tying flies, tying those, you know, tying the string to the hook so that they can go fishing with a picture of a fish on the end of the hook. So those are some great ideas to consider using that for. You know, Walmart has great, I think these packs are maybe $1.47. You get two. So you've got two gifts in one. Scissors are important. You can include small sewing kits using pill bottles or tins. Maybe putting a couple of needles, sewing needles, onto a piece of felt that you've cut out that looks like a heart, and putting in a small bobbin, filled with thread so they can use that for sewing, a couple of buttons, a couple of pins to hold things together, you know, straight pins, that kind of thing, couple of safety pins. Those, because many times they need to repair their clothes, you know, things like that. These are some things you can get at Dollar Tree. This is Etch-a-Sketch, and it is the Etch-a-Sketch brand. It's a great little gift, a wow gift. Now, generally, I will take it out of the packaging as well because they really don't need all the plastic and whatnot. But sometimes I do leave them in just because it's easier to slip it down in there, just like this as well. So those are some great gift ideas to consider. And they're not costly. And if you're buying them throughout the year, instead of all at once, it's a little less than that. I include some pony beads with some hemp thread. That is a great way for them to make their own necklaces, their own bracelets, those kind of things. Flashlight. You know, these used to be $1. Now they're, I think, almost $2. But sometimes you can find flashlights fairly cheap. There are a couple of places like Wild Supplies where you can get those that hand crank. And those are probably better because they don't require batteries. These you need to remember to include batteries and extra batteries as well. But it's still a great gift for the family in itself. And I saw someone had found some solar flashlights / lanterns. And I think that was lionwholesale.com that has those. But you know, those are some great gifts to do. Got this at Dollar Tree, drawing farm animals. It's a great little book just to show you how to draw. That's a great little gift. Like I said, sewing kits. Other things to consider are brushes, combs, toothbrushes, toy cars, jump ropes, yo-yos. You can make, out of old t-shirts, you can make jump ropes out of old t-shirts. So, you know, let's say your thrift store has, you know, a bag for $5. How many t-shirts could you stuff into that and then make jump ropes with? Washcloths, combs, brushes, soccer balls with pumps. You do need to deflate them. Dolls. One other thing, and I'm not going to include this because this is one of Izzy's toys, is little stuffed animals. You know, make sure you're checking all these places out after the holidays. Like Halloween, once it's finished, you may be able to find some things that are like bracelets, necklaces. I wouldn't go for any of the ghoulish things, but you know, there are some things that might be appropriate that you could use out of the Halloween leftovers. But little stuffed toys, even for the older boys, socks, sunglasses, school supplies. Many kids in other countries cannot even go to school unless they have school supplies. So consider pencils, pencil sharpeners, erasers, pens, notebooks, paper, coloring picture books, even solar calculators. And let me tell you, that buck and a quarter store has got some great calculators for $1.25, and they are solar. So those are some ideas to consider. And I know lots of times after school, you know, after the school sells before school starts, many times there are some of those calculators that you can find for like 50 cents. I know I've gone to Staples, and at times some of the little keyring calculators that were solar were like 50 cents or $1. So, you know, those are some things to consider sending for an Operation Christmas Child shoebox. As you know, this is one of my passions, and I like to do things throughout the year. Some of the other things you can make, if you are a sewist, you could sew shorts, dresses, shirts. You can include t-shirts, underwear, all kinds of things like that. I know I make pillowcase dresses lots of times. Also make backpacks. You can sew backpacks. You can sew little cross body bags for the girls. Billy makes the Dammit dolls. You could create, not a Dammit doll, but you could create a small doll to include in there as well with some clothes, those kind of things. And as always, you can make loveys. Loveys make a great thing with those smaller toys, those smaller stuffed toys, and even some of the $3 baby dolls that you can find at Walmart. And they even have some of those at the buck and a quarter store. So those are some ideas to consider doing. But yeah, so if you're into doing the shoe boxes, consider doing that. But irregardless, these make great gifts for kids all around, regardless, for many kids. So if you have a kid that you're looking to make some things, consider making them a shoebox full of different little toys and things. I will tell you, there was one year, Thomas and I had included several things for my nephew when he was probably about 7, I think. And one of those things was a magnifying glass and then a little case to catch bugs, or butterflies in. He played with that for about 2 years. He loved that. He took it all over the place, did all kinds of things with it. So don't discount. And we got that at Dollar Tree. So don't discount getting, small toys. You want to try to get some quality toys that will last. So those are just small things to consider. Cars, trucks. You just don't want to include anything that might be remindful of war. No war toys, no guns, nothing camouflage. But other than that, pretty much anything goes. All right. That is my spiel for today. So let's move on to what in Tarnation. All right. Kitten brought into German animal shelter. Turns out to be a wildcat. Can you imagine that? A seemingly orphaned or abandoned kitten brought to an animal shelter in Germany displayed unusually aggressive behavior that resulted in it being identified as a European wildcat. The Bergheim Animal Shelter said the small feline was brought in by a member of the public who found it on a country road and became concerned by the animal's aggressive behavior and refusal to eat. Shelter staff inspected the kitten, suspected it was not a domestic cat at all, contacted the Reichscheider Hof Wildlife Center, which confirmed the animal was a European wildcat, a protected wild species native to the area. The Wildlife Center said the young wildcat is being cared for alongside another member of its species until they are old enough to be returned to the wild. We do our best to make their stay as comfortable as possible. Every progress they make is followed here with great enthusiasm and hope. Now, I'm going to preface this. This is one of my favorite articles because I love okra. I like okra if it's cooked where it's slimy. I like it lightly steamed. I like it fried. I like it baked. I like it in soups. I just like the taste of okra. Alabama couple's 16-foot, 10-inch okra plant may be the world's largest. An Alabama couple may have broken the Guinness World Record by growing an okra plant that reached a height of 16 feet, 10 inches. I can't imagine an okra plant that high. Man, those stems must be strong. Mobile residents Terry and Kenneth Stevens said this was their first year planting okra in their garden, and they were shocked to see one of their plants reach for the sky. Actually, this is our first year planting. I think we started in March, and we started in seeds from my shed. We transferred them out here, and they've just been growing ever since. Crew from Bird Surveying visited the couple's home to take an official measurement to submit to Guinness World Records. The plant was measured at 16 feet, 10 inches tall. The record is currently held by a New Orleans man, Jack Reno Sweeney, whose okra plant was measured at 16 feet, 4 inches tall in 2022. And watch the video because he shows the okra plant, shows it being measured. And he also talks about how they constantly take okra off of it, you know. So, who knew? Firefighters rescue parrot owner's brother from California tree. Firefighters in California came to the rescue of a parrot stuck in a tree, as well as a teenager who became stranded trying to reach the bird. Buena Park resident Safaya Hashimi said her pet cockatiel Tweety was a birthday gift 6 months ago, and the bird flew the coop when startled this week. I dropped something and he just flew off my shoulder. Tweety landed on a high branch in a tree near the Buena Park Community Center, and her teenage brother attempted to climb the tree to retrieve the pet. The boy found himself stranded on a branch where he couldn't climb any higher or safely climb back down. The Orange County Fire Authority responded to the scene, and firefighter Shane Allen of Truck 17 used a ladder to reach first the teenager, then the bird. Allen proved that saving 2 birds with 1 ladder isn't just a figure of speech. Hashimi said her brother and the bird are both uninjured. You know, it's got to be pretty bad when you can't find a mayor to run for that position in your city. Saskatchewan, Canada town can't find anyone to run for mayor. Town in Saskatchewan, Canada is facing one major hurdle in the run-up to its November municipal election. No one is running for mayor. Officials in Kyle said Mayor George Williams, who was elected in November 2021, is retiring this year, and so far no candidates have come forward to seek the office. An open spot on the town council also has no nominees. Chief Administrative Officer Amber Dashney said 2 rounds of applications have gone out seeking nominations for mayor, but so far no one has signed up. It's a little concerning, but I'm confident that someone will step forward. Dashney said the council will select a deputy mayor to handle the duties of the office if no candidates run for mayor in the November 13th election. At that meeting, we will decide on a date for a by-election, and we will continue calling a by-election till we fill the mayor spot and the other councilor spot as well. In my area, one of my friend's husband was a previous mayor, and there was someone that was running for mayor, but the town residents didn't care for this person, so they wrote in my friend's name, and he once again became mayor from write-in ballots, even though he hadn't, submitted his name. But he took the position, it was no big deal. Mysterious winged and horned creature caught on camera at zoo. England's Bristol Zoo is asking for the public's help to identify a mysterious winged and horned creature caught on a trail camera in a woodland area. The zoo said the trail camera is in the facility's woodland area, which is home to numerous wild animals, captured a photo of the mysterious winged and horned creature. Our UK conservation team made the discovery when looking through night vision images from camera traps set up in the award-winning habitat where bears and wolves live alongside wolverines and lynx. That's interesting. The zoo said on its website. After reviewing the images, they say the creature appears to have 4 legs and is nothing like they have spotted before. Many observers said the animal in the photo appears to be a muntjac deer, but zoo officials expressed skepticism in a Facebook post, posting the mystery creature photos side by side with the deer picture. Many comments under the post theorized out that the creature's wings and horn are likely the result of the camera's exposure capturing the animal's ears multiple times as it moved. The zoo acknowledged the sighting came conveniently close to Halloween. The sighting of this mythical-like creature is a mystery to us here at Bristol Zoo Project and has been a great inspiration for the Halloween trail this year. Scotland has the Loch Ness Monster and Cornwall has the Beast of Bodmin Moor. Have we discovered a similar mythical pier in Bristol, perhaps? Said Rosie Sims, the zoo's public engagement manager. Oh. And bears, sometimes they get into things they shouldn't. Halloween decorations bruined by 3 black bears. A North Carolina woman's doorbell camera captured video of a trio of black bear cubs making a meal out of her family's Halloween pumpkins and Amazon packages. The video shows what unfolded when the 3 young Bruins approached Aaron Chester's front door in Asheville. The bears tore through Chester's Amazon packages before turning their attention to the pumpkins placed on the stoop as Halloween decorations. 2 of the bears wrestle for ownership of a pumpkin, while the 3rd bear enjoys another gourd by himself. The video ends with one of the bears carrying the remaining pumpkin away as a to-go snack. Bears have been known in the past to go looking for food on front porches. A hungry bear was famously caught on camera last year stealing a Taco Bell delivery from the front door of an Orlando, Florida home. And our last story is ooh. However, I will preface this by saying my kids and I have been to SeaWorld in San Antonio many times, and part of the show is where the Orca splashes water on the crowd. However, this one had a little different ending. Orca splashes poop in the audience at SeaWorld San Antonio. Audience members attending an Orca show at SeaWorld San Antonio got more than they bargained for when the killer whale defecated in its pool and then splashed the crowd with soiled water. Alex Bermudez posted a video to TikTok showing the orca swimming in its glass-walled pool with a cloud of whale poop following behind it. The oceanic mammal then splashes the feces-filled water onto the crowd and SeaWorld employees, eliciting a mixture of shock, disgust, and amusement. SeaWorld San Antonio has yet to comment on the incident. SeaWorld announced in 2016 that it would end its orca breeding program and phase out the animals at its parks after the current generation dies out. 5 orcas currently reside at SeaWorld San Antonio. That is it for your What in Tarnation. Oh, I can just imagine my son when he was young. He'd have been splashed by that. I can hear the screams. And he would have to have a shower right away. All right, here we go for our devotional. These are promises from God's heart. This is a book that I picked up at Ollie's, and let's get into it. Promises from God's heart for His truth. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8. Oh boy. Let me get my glasses, folks. My eyes are tired. And the print's little. Luke 8:32. The sum of your word is truth, and every one of your righteous rules endures forever. Psalm 119, 160. This is what the Lord says, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am the Lord your God, who teaches you what is best for you, who directs you in the way you should go. Isaiah 48:17. I have hidden your word in my heart, that I might not sin against you. Praise be to you, Lord. Psalm 119, 11 through 12. God. His way is perfect. The Lord's word is tried and true. He is a shield for all who would take refuge in him. Psalm 18:30. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. Matthew 7:24 through 25. Truthful lips will be established forever, but a lying tongue is credited only for a moment. Proverbs 12:19. Even those little small white lies. When you heard the message of truth, the gospel of your salvation, and when you believed in him, you were also sealed with the promise of Holy Spirit. He is the down payment of our inheritance for the redemption of the possession to the praise of his glory. Ephesians 1:13 through 14. By his own choice, he gave us new birth by the message of truth so that we would be the first fruits of his creatures. James 1:18. And that is it for today's video. Hope you don't mind that I rambled on about the Operation Christmas Child. It is one of those things that I am very highly involved in and I support wholly. So just bear with me. All right, guys. I will see you again next week. But in the meantime, remember, don't let those elephants and those donkeys drive a wedge between us. This election's coming up quick and it'll be over with and we'll be done with it and we'll have a new president either way. And let us be willing to not be so judgmental against each other. That's something I have to work at. All right, guys. See you guys soon. Bye.